Good evening, everyone. I'm here tonight to talk to you about Neighborhood Watch. I know that everyone wants to feel safe in their homes and in their neighborhood. And to do this, we can always start a neighborhood watch. This is where you get together with a group of people in your neighborhood and you'd watch the streets, and just make sure there's nothing going on. And, okay, so since we all want to protect ourselves, that's why the best thing to do is to work together and work with our police force, our sheriff's departments, and any other kind of task force that could work with you to start a neighborhood group. The first thing we'd need to do would be to contact the police force or your local sheriff's department and find out how you would go about starting the program and what you need to do, what kind of rules and guidelines to follow, like, how many members you would have to have, if you have to have any permits, things like this, just the basic rules of starting a group. And then the next thing to do would be to make up some flyers, just however colorful, inviting, put what you want to, get the people enticed to come and listen and visit, and then to get them to join your group. And then after you get enough members to join your group, you want to also get them all having roles, like just kind of like a baseball team or something. Here you'll have your captain, this person's gonna watch out for this kind of things, just different tasks each person can do, and after you get that decided, then you would want to come up with what type of sign would you want to post in your neighborhood to alert any kind of suspects or criminals that, hey, we're watching you, so, you don't want them in your neighborhood and you're not going to allow them to be in your neighborhood anymore. And for statistics, just to show you a few things, this is from a neighborhood watch group where they have called in, and these are the reports that the sheriffs and the police have distributed out, showing that for disturbances, these are the calls they get for these, and each little section tells what kind of disturbances go on in neighborhoods that people are reporting and that they are able to stop from happening. And since there are these groups, you can see that they started having neighborhood watches in around 2008 or probably earlier. But you can see how crime was really high in neighborhoods and how crime has been dropping. And the last one is on here is 2012. So, you can see how the scale goes and how the Neighborhood Watch program does help. Okay, so after that you want to know, what do you need to know? Like, if you see something going on in your neighborhood, you see a strange person that's not supposed to be there, right? So what should you do? You need to make sure before you call the police or whoever you need to call and contact, you need to make sure that you know the size of the person, their height, their color, their hair, any clothing, any kind of description of this person that will help the police find them, so that they can question them and find out what they were doing in your neighborhood if they were up to no good. And, like suspicious vehicles, if you see a strange car that keeps coming in your neighborhood that doesn't live in your neighborhood, and it's doing suspicious things, you want to make sure that you make notes of the makes and models, what time of day or night it's coming in and out of the neighborhood. There's a lot of suspicious things that Neighborhood Watch can look for, like a new neighbor having a lot of extra company just in and out all hours of day and night, just things like that, just things that don't usually go on in a neighborhood, because you want to protect yourself, your neighbors, your families, your children. You want a decent neighborhood. And the more crime that we allow in our neighborhoods, the more our property values are going to drop. And if you do intend on retiring in a totally different area, you're not going to be able to sell your home if there's not a lot of criminal activity in there. And what are the advantages of having a neighborhood watch? The advantages are your criminals are scared to come in your neighborhood, for one, because they know you're watching for them and you're not going to let them get away. They know that you're ready to stand up for them. So this means drug activity, stealing, you know, any number of things is going to be depleted out of your neighborhoods. And you're going to be able to own your neighborhood and be comfortable out in it. Take walks at night, take your dog out, let your children play. You know, there's just many things without criminals in your area that are available for you to do. So, with that being said, I believe by creating a neighborhood watch group that you can protect yourself and others. A group like this lets you make a statement saying, we will not take this anymore. We want to stand strong for our neighborhoods with all our worth and everything. And they're letting the criminals know that you're not going to be terrorized by them anymore. You're taking charge of your things, your possessions. You paid for them, not them. Why let them take over? Okay? And if you would like to know where I got any of this information, there is a website with a neighborhood watch group that you can go on and look it up and find out much more. Thank you and have a good night.